Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes. It is true. We got sent a care package that we opened yesterday, Houston, Texas, and it was awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so look out for that video. It is out.
Brilliant.
It is out. Yeah, and if there is a care package you want to send, or if you want to check out that video, feel free. But just click the link below. It's got our address. It's got website, email address, all that sort of stuff.
You begging?
No, I'm not begging.
Begging.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, if you want, yeah, absolutely.
It was like Christmas yesterday. I well enjoyed it.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what
I don't usually get that much at Christmas, to be honest.
No, neither do I. That's what the hustle is. It's just Christmas. Kids don't get you anything. Yeah. Right, this is a Patreon request. I'm going to hand over to Office Bloke Mike.
Is it?
No.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
Is
it
it?
is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is.
This is the time John Mulaney, accident, got a prostate exam.
Say that again.
No.
The time John Mulaney accidentally got a prostate exam.
That's more like it.
The
This
time-
is for Gary Simonson. Cheers, Gary.
Got it?
Cheers, Gary. Apologies for the intro.
Yeah, I mean, if David had told me, I would have read it beforehand, but he didn't, so
I think he did
threw me
tell
under
you.
the bus as usual.
I'm pretty sure he did tell you.
No, he didn't.
About 45 minutes ago.
Yeah,
It wasn't
about an
just
hour
now.
ago.
Right, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right then. The time, accidentally John,
Probably.
Mulaney finger bum. The time John Mulaney accidentally got a prostate exam. Let's do it.
Absolutely shocking.
Too anxious for a lot of things. I get very nervous all the time. Not even about like major life things, just like about in everyday situations. Like, this is my regular speaking voice, but if I'm in a public bathroom and someone knocks too suddenly on the stall door, I go into a whole different speaking voice, which is, hey, someone's in here! Someone's in here! So if they're gonna be like, I think there's a carnival barker in there. I think someone's trying to drum up business for a carnival. I decided to do something about all this anxiety recently. I decided I was going to try and get a Xanax prescription. I don't know if anyone here has ever tried Xanax, but it's fantastic. Very muted claps for Xanax. You don't really get woos. It's more like, yeah. I didn't know how to get a Xanax prescription, though. Drugs like that are tricky sometimes. But I talked to a friend of mine, and he said, hey, I did this. He said that he had a regular doctor's appointment, and at the end of it, he said to his doctor, hey, doctor, sometimes I get nervous on airplanes. And the doctor just wrote him a Xanax prescription. And I was like, yeah, that's the type of lowbrow I'm looking for. I'll take your advice, friend I've never listened to before. So I go to a clinic, and I go in, and I'm just going to go in for, a regular type of checkup, and at the end, I'll ask about Xanax. So I get to the front desk, and they have a why are you here sheet. And I want to pick something that will get me in and out really quickly. And I look down, and I see frequent urination. And I was like, perfect. That'll be a super quick visit, I'll just be like, hey, sometimes I pee a lot. And the doctor will be like, me too, crazy, right? And I'll be like, I get nervous on airplanes. So I checked off frequent...
Was there not a box to check to say that you suffer from nervousness or anxiety or something?
I've never seen them in the...
I haven't,
No.
but I'm just thinking, like, there's probably a pretty decent list on there. Just tick the thing that's going to get you the Xanax, isn't it?
When I go to the doctors, I just lose it. Instant.
I couldn't tell you the last time I went to the doctors.
I went for me, jabs. All my jabs I have to have and prescriptions and shit.
Yeah.
So I went in fucking old people just take up too much space anyway.
Bill Burr's got a solution for that. He's done a whole bit about it.
And I'll be like, I get nervous on airplanes. So I checked off frequent urination, and I sat down in the waiting area, and I waited for 3 hours. I finally go back to the observation room, and in the observation room, there is a male nurse standing there, and he has a Batman sticker on his stethoscope, a Batman necklace, and a Batman watch. He was kind of moving around the whole time, he was just like, all right, I am too blessed to be stressed. Let's do it. What are you allergic to besides work? And then he'd take something and he'd throw it over his shoulder and be like, beats working. Like, all of his jokes were very anti-work, which is not always what you want from a healthcare professional. The doctor comes in the room, and the doctor looks at my chart, and he says, oh, you're here for frequent urination. How many times a day are you urinating? And I tried to think of a number that would warrant a doctor visit. So I said 11. And that was too many times to say. The doctor looks at me and says, you're peeing 11 times a day. Then you may have something wrong with your prostate. So, what we need to do, some of you are ahead of me. So I don't know exactly how he phrased it, but the gist of it was, hey, if this visit is to continue, I'm going to stick part of my hand up your ass. And I didn't know what to say. Because I couldn't be like, no, that's okay. I was lying. It was a lie to get drugs. You know, like a crime. So what I did was, I pulled down my pants and I walked over to the observation table and I put my hands down on the observation table like this. And by the way, part of me was like, whatever, you know? You know those days when you're like, this might as well happen? Adult life is already so goddamn weird. So I'm bent over like this on the table, and the doctor comes up behind me and goes, no, not on your hands, on your elbows, and he knocks me down like that. And this is so much worse than this. I don't know why. I think it's that this has like a little remaining dignity to it, you know what I mean? This is sort of like, go, stick it in, I am an American. This is like you're leaning over the edge of a cruise ship, and you're like, we are approaching Martinique. He knocked me down to my elbows. And then he stuck his hand in. And you know how sometimes you're like, I bet I know what most things feel like, you know? You just think you'll know. I did not know what this was gonna feel like. And this was the actual sound I made. I went, oh! But I didn't say.
That could either be a I'm loving this or this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me noise. That's too ambiguous a noise to me.
Yeah. Go figure that one.
Every time anyone goes near a stool on stage when they're doing comedy, I'm just thinking of Cat Williams.
I know, yeah.
And instantly I was like, is that the same size stool as Cat Williams has? Because he manages to mount it and ride it across the floor.
Oh! But I didn't say it. Like it came from my vocal cords, but it was totally involuntary. It was as if a ghost had been trapped in my belly and finally flew out towards the light. And then, when he pulled his hand out, we've gotten to know each other pretty well. So I will phrase this as delicately as I can. I did not realize that when the doctor pulls his hand out, it feels like because the only thing that's ever come out of your butt before has been. So, he pulls his hand out, and I thought that I was into his hand. So I yelled, I'm sorry! This is a very routine procedure, by the way, for most doctors. And so far he's had to deal with, oh, and I'm sorry. And he didn't even let me off the hook, you know? He wasn't like, don't worry, you didn't into my hand. He just threw his glove away and was like, And I was about to ask about Xanax, but then he said, all right, your prostate's fine, but we still need to do a blood test. So I pulled up my pants and shuffled away, feeling different. And he yells out into the hall, he goes, hey, we're doing a blood test, get in here. And Batman dances back in, and he's like, all right, we're gonna do a blood test. You look different, let's do it. The doctor left the room, so I'm alone with Batman. I just need this blood test to be over, okay? But first I had to tell Batman something. I said, Batman, look, I'm one of those people who, when you take blood from me, sometimes I can faint. And I was in the waiting area for 3 hours, and I haven't eaten all day, and I'm really worried I'm gonna faint. And Batman said to me, and I'll never forget it, you're not gonna faint. So, I stick my arm out. Batman puts the needle in. I immediately collapse on the ground. I wake up and I am covered in sweat lying on the observation table. I wake up, I open my eyes and I see Batman's face. He's looking at me and he goes, "You gotta go!" And I said, "Could I please talk to the doctor though first? Because sometimes I get nervous on airplanes." And Batman said, "The doctor's gone!" So I got my stuff and I left. The moral of the story is that if you've been nervous your entire life, you should ask your doctor about Xanax, because if you lie to him, he will stick his finger in your ass. And if you do suffer from frequent urination, keep it to yourself. I went to that clinic 2 years later for a different checkup, and as I was leaving, who did I run into but Batman? And he smiled at me, and he was wearing reading glasses to show that time had passed.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny. I'm getting
Humorous.
like Daniel Tosh mashed together with Mitch Hedberg, but like a very family-friendly version of the two.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple
I
of
get
things he said, and the way he said them, there was about 2 Mitch Hedberg things, you know, when it's kind of like, so this is different. You know, sort of that awkward.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of Daniel Tosh sort of cadence, you know, in the way he was
He's
saying
quite
things.
amusing. He's not really laugh out
No.
loud funny, really, but he's quite an amusing guy. So I still quite like the way he does it and everything. I like
think
his style.
Wearing a suit and being quite refined looking and stuff may have detracted from that joke a little bit. I think it could have been a lot more
Do you reckon?
visceral and a lot more like, you know, where you're going, oh, fuck.
Yeah. I don't know who his audience was, but yeah, he was humorous but not hysterical.
It's
like
pretty
you say.
good, yeah. If I went to a comedy night and saw him live, I'd enjoy it. I'd laugh
along.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you'd
could
laugh
see the
along.
way he could do all the stuff that we find more funny. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think quite like his style and everything and the way he comes across. But
Have you had a prostate exam yet?
no, we've not. No.
Because you're at that age where you need one.
Uh,
Dave?
if you're doing now,
Dave, get the gloves.
I'll be walking out of here backwards.
It doesn't.
I asked for one when I come back to the UK. I went to see the doctor, obviously, to register and go through everything. And I
Got
said,
to pay extra for a
I
prostate
said,
exam.
I need a prostate exam as well. I've not had one yet. And he went, how old are you? So I said, 42. This was when I came back to the UK, not now. And he went, you're way too young. I went, fuck off, 40 in the USA. And you get them.
Yeah, I
he
thought
went,
it was 40 over here, but they keep putting
he said,
it back,
no,
don't
it's
they?
like 50 over here. So I was like, so I've got to wait 10 years or 8 years to get a prostate exam. He went, yeah. I went, what if I go private and you can do that if you want. So I went, well, can't you just do it? No, you have to book in. And I was like, lazy all them old people out there.
I would have just been like, well, I piss 11 times a day.
You say,
there you go. Callbacks.
So it's so they wouldn't give it me.
Wow.
So it was, and even when I went private and I requested one, they said no, you don't need one yet.
Really? How
And
strange.
they said, wait till you're 50. I said, I don't think I'll last that long.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of kick-off over lots of things like that because they pushed ages back for women having a similar, sort of health checkup, and they're saying it's contributed to premature deaths and things like that. There's just not enough doctors and not enough appointments, is there, for everyone to go and get interfered with in that way? I'm sure there is, but
Well, I think if you go private, there is, isn't there?
oh,
Or should
absolutely,
be.
yeah.
So
if you go private, you should be able to get anything done.
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't work like
strange that.
Really?
Clearly not. No.
that. No.
Wow.
No.
Anyway.
Oh well. We
Oh,
discussed
If you want
it.
to give Mike a prostate exam, that's
Oh,
what the winners-
you're the
No
one
way.
that wants one.
I'm not 50 yet.
Yeah, but you want one.
Yeah, no, I wanted one because from a doctor. I can wait. But that could be the prize for the intro.
Give Mike a prostate exam. Jesus.
I'm going off this new intro. So
£1. 50.
It's sickening. It's a horrific way to end this video.
It's really.
I don't know what to say.
It's about prostate exams.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
that's
Mike's
what- that's what
prostate
the-
exam.
That's
though.
what the
That
video was about.
fun.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't want to think about either of you getting prostate exams. No offence, but
We could do one together, Mike. See if you could do like a father and son.
Can we not just can we not just end the video? Sharpish.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.